have cartoon? Oh, I got it here. Jai Ho Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Ho Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jai Ho Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Ho Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jai Ho Pancha Tattva. Jai Ho Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Ho Radhe Shyam. Jai Ho Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Ho Krishna Balaram. Jai Ho Gauranitai, 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 Jai Ho Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Ho Prabhupada. निताई गो प्रेमानंदे। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्रीमती श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय। ISKCON BBT फाउंडर आचार्य AC भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, अयोध्यापुर नगरी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, द्वारका धाम की जय, गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय। निताई गो प्रेमानंदे। All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimridasya Gyananjan Shalakya Chakshunamalatam Yen Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rup Kadam Dadati Sapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutle Shmad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gurvani Pracharne Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschadeshtarne. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृतं चरणोत्तम देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च सिन्धुभ्यो पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वसुदेवस्तं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Thank you. Thank you so much. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, एक भागवत बड़भाग को शास्त्र, एक भागवत भक्ति रसपात्र. This is Bhagavatam class. So he explained, one Bhagavat is book Bhagavat. This is not only merely a book. Narayan Sakshat Veda. This is Sakshat Shri Krishna. Bhagavat is Sakshat Krishna. Each word, like we have got one rome mean pore, each hair on our body. Similarly, Bhagavat is Krishna, Shri Krishna. Another is devotee Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat. So Mukunda Prabhu invited me to come to Slovenia. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, at present I try not to travel so much because everything is online and people contact me through Zoom. But I somehow, after so many years, I decided, okay, I come. But I've seen Sridhar Swami, I was asked to speak about His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj. So I was very fortunate that I had his association. He taught me a lot of things, not only for myself, but he tried to practice in his life. He had serious liver problem. I won't tell you how I got it. He told me. He said, that's how I got it. I said, okay. But generally, we live in a comfort zone. Give you example myself. Why take so much trouble in traveling if I can reach people through technology these days? But he loved technology as well, and he was traveling despite his health. Generally we see when we have a little problem with our health, we get so much worried. We look for servants to serve. But His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj had serious problem with his liver. But you never seen him morose, unhappy. He was jolly fellow. That's why they call Jolly Swami. But I personally experienced his happiness. He would love to come to Slovenia. He used to have a hat. It was used to call Prabhupada dog. Have you seen anybody seen that hat? He used to wear the hat and he used to travel on the airports all over Prabhupada's dog. I don't know which year I met him, but I remember that I met him in Rath Yatra. There was London, I've forgotten the Rath Yatra, now it goes to Trafalgar Square. But there was one park the Rath Yatra used to go. That's where I met him. We were just buying some food stuff from the stall, and he stood in a normal line where all the devotees were standing. And he's senior disciple, he's senior sannyasi even to Radhanath Swami and to Giriraj Swami. He was much senior sannyasi. But you never seen any arrogancy in him. He was very humble, very gentle, he was not expecting respect. Generally, when we have any managerial position, when we have some, when we are recognized, generally we find that we get inclined to have respect from others. We inclined to have some, like, I'm not going to name somebody I met, and this lady said, well, these male sannyasis have so many servants, I have got no servant. I'm doing everything myself. Don't preach. Who asking you to go? Don't need servants. We are servant of servant of servant. We should not expect others to become our servant. We should become servant of everybody. While speaking, somebody may be a new devotee sitting here. He never has come to Krishna consciousness. One may be practicing Krishna consciousness for 50 years, 100 years even. Well, when the person is speaking, what is he doing? He's serving that person. Guru actually means a servant. He's serving everybody. If I'm sitting here, I tell you, okay, I'm for 50 years, 40 years, I am somebody, I should be respected because I'm a senior, I'm this. That is not really position. Our position is that if I have experienced something and I am sharing my experience to even a newcomer, that means I am his servant. And this quality I have seen in His Holiness Sridhar Swami. I was buying some savories or some samosas or kachoris or something like this, and he came to me. He was standing in an ordinary line. He could have sent one of some devotee. I'm a senior sannyasi, go, I get it. He was in Rath Yatra in London. But that's how I got impressed. I said, wow, I never met him before. I didn't know his name. It's long ago, I don't remember in a year now. But then I asked, I said, Maharaj, what would you like to have? He said, oh, I like to have this chips. I remember chips, a few other things I don't remember. He said, I like to have this. I said, okay, and he was ready to pay himself. I said, no, Maharaj, you don't pay, I'll pay. Number one, he was standing in a queue. That's how we connected with each other, and I asked him. He asked my name. And I was not initiated those days. And I said, Raman. He said, okay. So then, that's how he started coming to our house. I had a factory, jewelry manufacturing workshop, and it was factory, and we had a flat because it was convenient for me to run the whole our production. So it was small flat, 3 bedroom. My parents living with me, 2 children. Parents had 1 bedroom. We had 1 bedroom. 1 bedroom was for children. Then we had one small room. And children, because the room of children was small, it was bunk beds. So he came to house. So now, sannyasi, I can't offer him our bed, my parents' bed. He was very humble. He said, no, I'll sleep here. So he would share a normal bunk bed where my younger child used to sleep. And he would sleep in the bunk bed. And I would drive him around like Mukunda is driving him. I will pick him up from the airport. And since that time, he's just started living in whenever he would come to Slovenia. So, what is the Ljubljana? What is that? Ljubljana. Yeah, I remember the name, and I never heard. And he said he had, I don't know why, he had some affection for Ljubljana. And he would come regularly here. So I think he was even more than a couple of times a year. But he would come here, and I remember I would go and drop him at the airport and pick him up, and then he would stay. The reason of that not is that we spent time with him, what we learned from him, what he taught us, that is more important. He taught with examples. And somehow that he had ability, I don't know what, but nobody else, I haven't experienced anybody, he could read my mind. What I'm thinking. There's so many of different examples, we'll go with that after. How he read our mind. And one good quality of those days, he would preach heavily. He had a serious problem with liver, but he was always happy. And whenever he would come, I have seen some other, I'm not going to name who, but some devotees, senior devotees, when they come and they are just knocked. We are traveling, and after that, people sleep and sleep. But he would come, he would freshen up and start going to temple, giving classes. It took me 40 minutes to go to temple, but he would stay in my house. He would not stay in the temple even. And he would, every morning there was, remember those days technology was very new. He used to have a very thick hard drive. And anybody seen the hard drive? It was about that thick. You remember? And then he would carry a couple of speakers with him. And every morning I've never seen him without, every morning he would get up before going to temple, getting up ready, he would in his room, he would put the proper lecture on that hard drive. Every morning. That was his routine of his life. And he would put proper lecture, he would get up from the bed, immediately lecture is on. And then he would take that hard drive, he used to carry these 2 speakers because that technology was very old those days. It was completely new technology. So there was mobiles, were very, very thick mobiles. Have you seen a thick, big mobiles, And he used to carry the mobile. Laptops were new. He used to carry laptops. Then he would carry that speakers in one little pouch, and with the hard drive, he take it to the bathroom. He will hang it. While he is brushing, teething, freshening up, everything, showering, he would hear the constantly lecture of Prabhupada. That was his regular. And then I've seen some devotees neglecting even some seniors neglecting their chanting due to the preaching and traveling and all this. But I haven't never seen him, neglecting his chanting. And every day he would chant with devotees. And when we come home, every day we would go for a walk and he would chant for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We would go. I remember Barn Park in Wembley, and I would take him. And not so many people around him. But that's one thing. Despite his health, he preached Krishna consciousness. But more than that, in our Indian culture, one thing is to Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi means date, who comes to your house without invitation, without informing. Like yesterday, day before yesterday, we went to what devotee's name? Panch, the devotees we stayed in the home on the way to Venice. Tapta Kanchana. He didn't know we are coming. So, he didn't get the message. But we had a wonderful time. We read 11 o'clock in the night while he was sleeping. But he was very respectful. He hosted us. That is the culture, Vedic culture, traditional culture. Maharaj spent a lot of time in Bombay. Bombay was Prabhupada's favorite place. Prabhupada said, Bombay is my office. Mayapur is my bhajan kutir. And what is that? No. Yeah. Vrindavan is my home. And he spent a lot of time establishing Bombay. He was the person, along with Malkrishna, Maharaj Giriraj Swami and His Holiness Siddha Swami. Now what is so special about it? He personally told me, he said, Ramanuja, I remember when, so he said, okay, this is how I should preach. And now, how to deal with devotees, that was big quality. That time Hare Krišna Swami fell down. I've seen. That's the time when he was coming a lot here in this part, Europe, and where Hare Krišna Swami's disciples were disturbed. And I have seen him personally taking care of people in London. Because Prabhupada said, it takes gallons of blood to make one devotee. And what do? We, under the false pride, under the illusion, we are not thinking ourselves, we are servant of devotees. We are not servant of one devotee, we are servant of all the devotees. No matter what capacity, whatever we are doing. We are cleaning the temple, not only for Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Krishna is never alone. Krishna is with his devotees. And who is a devotee? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered very nicely in anybody who chants Hare Krishna mantra, that is a devotee. Devotee does not mean a person who is initiated, he is a devotee. Where does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said you become devotee when you take initiation? Never. Rather, Satyaraj Khan, Kulina Brahmins, when he asked, is there any Bhagavatam, English Bhagavat here? Chaitanya Charitamrita, can you get for me? CC here somewhere? Madhya Leela, chapter 15. So who is a devotee? I'll read that from there. And I have seen how he taken care of devotees. How he preached, that's one thing. And it is actually, before I come to the devotees, one of his because the devotees he was very concerned with the devotees. Any devotee who is disturbed for some reason, by management or by any others, somehow other, I've seen him, he is supporting them, he is very compassionate to them, that devotee should not leave Krishna consciousness. And in our own house, I mean, he taken personal care. He did not, he treated me his disciple. I taken initiation from Giriraj Swami, and Giriraj Swami always used to call, he said, your good friend Shridhar Swami. And he was such a senior, even to Giriraj Swami or Radhanath Swami, but then he was like he never treated me, oh, you are some young devotee, or you're my disciple. Even he would say, I'm your guru. He would say that. And in my house, when I sold my house, I rang him up. He said, I'm coming. He was coming to Slovenia. I said, Maharaj, we have just sold the house. Oh. Thank you. You haven't got English Bhagavad here? English Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yeah, if you can bring that for me, please. I've seen how much care he took for the devotees. And he never, he said, no, you can't enter into the house. I said, Maharaj, I've sold the house, I have to move. He said, no, you can put your stuff there, but you can't move. If your guru is not here, how can you enter into the house? So for 4 days we stayed outside with somebody else. I bought a house was locked, and then when devotees were there, when Maharaj came, we had a coconut. He told me, get a coconut, get this. I will enter your house first. So he would. Then we were devotees there. We had immediately we had a yajna in the house. Everything was. I said, well, we have to go. I mean, if you're coming, he said, no. You arrange everything. You go into the house, put the yajna things, but you don't. You don't stay there. You don't live there. You don't sleep there. You don't cook there. So, but anyway, he came, and then how we had a kirtan, and he entered the house. And we had a yajna, and then even the house was not. It was, the storage was all over the place, but he stayed there. He did not stay anywhere else. He said, "No, I don't want to stay anywhere. I'll stay with you." And what happened with staying? What is the real reason of staying? Is training. The guru means train his disciple. That doesn't mean that, okay, I initiate so many blah blah, this many gurus, that chelas. Chela means, we call disciple chelas because I speak mostly in Hindi. So that's chelas. So chela meaning chela doesn't mean you just making chelas on the name only. Guru nasasya, pita nasasya, janini nasasya. One should not become a guru or a father or unless you can't deliver him. And I've seen that. How he taken care of people, and how once he told my wife, he said, he was coming and asked him, what would he like to, he said, Asha, I want to eat, my wife's name was Asha before initiation. He said, I want to eat dudhi ka halwa. Dudhi, you know dudhi? Dudhi is, I don't know the name in English, anyway, it's tori or dudhi, something, tori, dudhi. And my wife didn't know, she never made this halwa. And so she asked one devotee, Maharaj is coming to our house, and we cook whatever normal as a sweet, he want dudhi ka halwa. Now she said, okay, you cook this way and you cook this way, and she said, okay. And she started cooking. Morning Maharaj was coming, and she said, okay, I'll make in the night and I'll just, offer it. With a morning he's coming so we can serve him, because it takes time to make the dudhi ka halwa. So now she was making dudi ka halwa, but dudi ka halwa was not, whatever cooking, it looks like uncooked. So whole night she was cooking dudi ka halwa. So she, no, this is not right. So she cooked again and she cooked again. So she spent about 4 hours, 5 hours cook dudi ka halwa. Eventually she said, well, I think dudi ka halwa is ready, fine. So she put dudi ka halwa on one side as some devotee told her. And 15th chapter, chapter 15, verse number, verse number 103. I want to read that, yeah. Oh, great. So, dudi ka halwa she was cooking and cooked and everything. And next day I went to the airport, picked him up, came home, took shower, same way, hearing lecture of Prabhupada, that was his routine. He come anytime, whenever he goes to shower, that was his routine. Listening Prabhupada, one of Prabhupada lecture on a hard drive. And my wife cooked and I served. Simple life, not so many servants around. So children were there and small children. And he taken prasad and then she served dudi ka halwa and he ate dudi ka halwa. Oh, Asha, this is very nice. It's very nice. So he ate dudi ka halwa, then after he finished. So, Asha, would you like to take dudi ka halwa? He said, no Maharaj, I am just cooking. No. You should taste some dudi ka halwa. You've done so much work cooking dudi ka halwa. Oh my God, when she put dudi ka halwa in the mouth, that was horrible, because she cooked so much sugar in there that it was one could not eat even. But what did he do? And what do we do? If a devotee do something wrong, and if Leela Shuk something wrong, Leela Shuk is serving in the temple, if I'm some leader or some commander and Leela Shuk does something wrong, and immediately what do we do? Leela Shuk, why did you do this? Isn't it? You get heavily chastised. But he did not do that. He trained with the love. He said to me once, he said, I was not going, he said, I was not going to morning program in that temple for 2-3 months or something. And he just, I don't know how he read. He said, you're not coming to morning program. I said, well, how do you know? He said, you did not attend my lecture. If you're neglecting my lecture, your Guru's lecture, that means you are not coming to temple. So, Maharaj has taught us that one thing I like to tell you, this which is most important for every temple, for everywhere, anytime. That doesn't mean that it was applicable at that time, now time has changed. He's the one who started the mail, what is that, to collect donations by mail? Huh? Yeah. So through the mail, it's him who started it. Prabhupada started life membership program. Prabhupada told them on those days, 1100 rupees, go and make life membership. Yes, there were rich people around, you can go and collect donation from anybody and everybody. And that, how we preach, personally I learned, now I don't go out, I don't harass people for money or anything. My goal is little changed. But he taught us how to cultivate people. Atithi Deva Bhava, like in our Vedic culture, we love anybody come to our house, taking care of it. And he showed this in example. One day there was one devotee I was cultivating, and I told him, I said, I have met, I won't name it, maybe if he heard that, I'm still in contact with him. So I said, such and such person I'm cultivating, he's very rich and he's very this. He said, oh, very great. So he taught me how I should preach, how I should collect the funds, and how I should take care of these people. And he told me one thing, he said, professional charity collectors, their successful is 80%. 8 of Panchtattva ki jai, Nitai go Premananda. 8 out of 10 people will, he told me one thing, he said, 8 out of 10 people will give you what you want. That's how the professional charity collectors, it's because they are professional. So there's a way to collect funds. And he's the one who started actually mail short in Bombay. He suggested in Bombay, Prabhupada made life membership program, it's Prabhupada's idea. They go and collect from each 1100 pounds rather than collecting from one person. But Sridhar Swami he told me, I'm the one who suggested, and people objected in the temple. Management, no, this is not going to work. He will invest so much money. He said, look, what we're going to do, we're going to make a flyer. We're going to put this is the charity for Abhishek, for clothes, for this. And then we send it to our life members, this flyer through post, pre-post even. We put another envelope with the stamp on, and we send it to them. And then he said, when they will receive this, and then they will send us donation. People objected in Bombay those days. But he said no. And then when he introduced this formula, and guess what happened? They had a great success. And this program of invitation, cultivating devotees, cultivating preaching doesn't mean just you look for their pockets. Preaching means we give some Krishna consciousness. We engage these people in the service of Krishna. And His Holiness Sridhar Swami, he's the one who introduced this. And now all over the world, in manner we are successful, very successful. 70,000 people come every year. And how we take care of these devotees. This is the example is taught by Sridhar Swami. And Sridhar Swami is when I told him that this is the rich person, and that's how he told me how you collect funds. And give you example, I mean, with his technique, what he taught me, if I approach 10 people, and that's my success rate is I will get 8 out of the 10 people will give me what I want. Because it's training by him. I learned from him. I'm not going to go over details. Maybe we can do separate program, what he taught me and how I apply this to preaching tactic. And to look after devotees, look after the donors. So these are the two particular things, looking after donors and looking after devotees. I want to discuss this because, if you don't mind, I was one very wealthy person. I was in contact with him, and this is good about 25, 30 years ago. And I said to Maharaj, Maharaj, I met this such and such person, like Mukunda is, what Mukunda is doing, exactly that's what I was doing about 30 years ago. I'm meeting all this, very well-known people, and then cultivating them for Krishna consciousness. But how to cultivate them? What do we do? This is trained by Sridhar Swami. I give the credit to him because he taught me. I can never be ungrateful to him. And I'm so happy meeting Mukunda. Mukunda is applying the exactly same formula. And I called Mukunda, Sridhar Swami was a jolly Swami and you are a jolly Mukunda. So his name is Jolly Mukunda. So Sridhar Swami used to tell me, I'm your guru. He always used to tell me, he said, I'm your guru. I said, all right. And I was very proudly, I said, he said, very good. I said, I'm meeting such and such person, and he's this, he's a very good. And then because he taught me when to ask. And then very proudly I thought, wow, that's 30 years ago, 50,000 pounds means 60, 70,000 euros these days. That's about 30 years ago. So for some project in ISKCON, I asked, and I was very happy that, that's my biggest collection I have ever done. That was 50,000 pounds. So I went to Maharaj, I picked Maharaja from the Heathrow airport, and he was sitting in the car, and I was very happy. Like a disciple is very happy, when he do something. You want to share his guru, not as a pride, but to share. I said, Maharaj, he gave me a nice check. He said, so what did you give him? Like he used to speak. He said, so what did you collect? I said, Maharaj, he gave me 50,000 pounds check. He said, Ramanuja, you done wrong. And that's 30 years ago. He said, Ramanuja, you done wrong. That's peanuts what you asked him. This person he should have given you at least £250,000. You done wrong. And he practically, not chastising, but he corrected me. He's teaching me. He said, you done wrong. This man was worth about £250,000. And you only collected 50,000. This is the peanuts for this person. I was shocked. But I learned. And what's the reason behind it? He taught us how to invest in the people. You got a businessman. What do the businessmen do? What do they do? When British went to India, they introduced alcohol. They introduced cigarette smoking. They introduced tea. And what do they do? Tea and cigarettes. They did not just go and open a tea shop or a cigarette shop and start selling people. They had no clue about cigarette smoking. Yes, they used smoke hookahs or whatever, but cigarette smoking was not known to Indians. Or even drinking tea, Prabhupada said no tea. And because Prabhupada didn't like tea. Some reason, and he said. So, British went to India, what they done? They offered free tea to people. They offered free. And once they get addictive, then you sell. So why I'm sharing this is because I learned, because he taught me something. You learn from somebody, you can never. I learned from my teachers in my school when I was 5 years old about Hare Krišna, Mahabharata stories. This is how my seed was sown when I was in a young age in a school. So the Hindi teacher I never forget, because he's my guru. My father taught me, I cannot forget. Prabhupada taught us, I can never forget Prabhupada. So anybody come in our life, he may have given you this much, he may have given you this much. What the people? People have no, sometimes we think that guru means who has got so many disciples, guru means who's got so many temples, guru means who has got so much name and fame, guru means who can speak very elegantly, or this is my pure devotee guru. They don't know. Narottam Das Thakur only had, Loknath Goswami had only one disciple. Guru doesn't mean that so many disciples, or so much wealth, or so much name and fame. That's not really. Tatvaiti, Bharanti, Tatsat Tattvam, Jajjnanam, Brahmeti, Pramatmeti, Bhagwaneti, Shabdayate. Tatvaiti. And Tatvaiti person, how he look after. And Sridhar Swami has taught one thing to me, which I am grateful to him, that how we should look after devotees. Prabhupada said that it takes gallons of blood to make 1% devotee. If devotee is not happy with us, something we must be doing wrong. We should self-analysis, Atmachintan. And particularly who are generally when we go out preaching, we think that, okay, oh, this person is giving me money, that's it. Emptying somebody's pocket is not a preaching. We go to a rich man and he gives us money and we think, oh, very nice, you giving money to the temple and oh, I'm doing good preaching. That is not really preaching. The person's pocket is not our preaching work. We have to enter into his heart. When we enter into somebody's heart, they give everything to you. And I learned from Sridhar Maharaj. And he told, we have to invest our time, invest our wealth. I tell you one thing, in Manor, we collected 1996. I think those days, I don't know, we collected £1 million in one night. That's how we built road. In our Bhaktanta Manor, we are proud of that community. The reason is Shruti Dharma Prabhu passed away and he was like Sridhar Swami. I learned a lot of things from Shruti Dharma. And he was a president. What did he do? As a president doesn't mean that I'm a president, that everybody has to be my obedient servants. And whatever I say, my way or highway, that is not really rule. And this art I have seen in Shruti Dharma Prabhu. I was involved with the ISKCON Bhaktanta Manor Foundation. I have introduced Neela Mother Prabhu. He's the chairman now. Very close, very nice person, very good friend of mine. And same quality what Shruti Dharma had, same quality Neela Mother Prabhu had. And you ask Neela Mother Prabhu, where did you learn this art from? We are the fundraisers. Well, we are preaching. That doesn't mean fundraisers. Fundraisers mean just emptying people's pocket. That's not really meaning. I don't like this word, fundraisers. But the credit goes to his Sridhar Swami. And what did we do? When we go to the people, we invest in them. We don't see petty. We have to invest. Invest means we spend for them. I tell you, even today, whatever I needed, I'm a businessman. I born in a business community. My father was a jeweler. My grandfather was a jeweler. His grandfather was a jeweler. We have born in a Rajput family doing the jewelry trade. And we are, but side by side, life is because of Prabhupada, involved with the institution of Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada, how did people serve Prabhupada? Because Prabhupada he brought them with love. He invested in people. Whoever came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada looked after him personally. He was encouraging. He would just give them rasgullas or gulab jamuns. You know that gulab jamuns in those days in 26 2nd Avenue. He used to make a gulab jamuns. An old man making gulab jamuns. The hippies, they got no clue. They would just pick one gulab jamun, put in their mouth. And Prabhupada just put the jar over there. They can come sometime eat more gulab jamun. He would not say, why are you eating more gulab jamuns? Let them eat. And His Holiness Sridhar Swami taught that you give gifts to people. In the Bhaktanta Manor, Shruti Dharma Prabhu, even today, if I ring Neela Prabhu, send me 10 photos. You know these big photos you see? These photos? You come to my house, these all big photos that came from Shruti Dharma Prabhu. I never bought them. He would just bring a big photo. He said, oh, my wife once said, when we were very new, and we went to the temple, we had start communicating with Shruti Dharma, and she said, oh, this is very nice photo. My wife just said that. Oh, this is very nice photo. And next what happens? He just said that nice photo, that's all. 35, 40, whatever, 40 years, whatever. He said, nice photo, and next he knew this birthday is coming, and he came up, the two people came up with a huge photo, and what is that? It's a happy birthday. Now, you see that when person comes, then it's love. It's love. And when you give, exchanging gifts, dadati pratiganati, you give, exchange gifts. And when you give, and this generally once you go and people like Mukunda is, I'm so happy. But Mukunda is doing exactly what Sridhar Swami done. And he is doing because he is a good chela of Sridhar Swami. Invest, spend your time, and you're giving them once gift, twice gift, 3 gifts, 4 gifts, 5 gifts. Eventually they say, oh, they are keep giving. I have to do some service to the temple. I have to do, oh, this Prabhuji, you have come. No, please, let me. They will give everything to you. So we should never go for petty things. Rather, we should invest for the future, long term. That's what I learned from Sridhar Swami. And caring devotees. I tell you now, Haridas will have a little, few more, I want to share with you, even, be with me because let's see how long we go. But why it's very important for all of us. There's one devotee who had heard about Haridas from Bombay. Yes, you Haridas from Bombay. Haridas, who was a pickpocket, who was a thief, and who as a child he joined, and is actually they named him Haridas, and then he look after him. And guess what? After Prabhupada passed away, centennial was in 1996, and Haridas not fell, but he was still involved with whatever his activities, what he used to do before. He never left chanting though. He was drinking alcohol or prostitution and everything. And 1996, Haridas used to, he passed away now anyway. He told me personally. Haridas told me personally this thing. He said, I used to drink 1 bottle of whiskey every night. And he was initiated by Prabhupada. And he said, even I was going to prostitutes. And sometimes I go to prostitutes and I will still end up talking about Krishna. And one prostitute told him, you come to me, enjoy, but you're talking about Krishna whole night. Eventually the prostitute became a devotee. So sometimes Krishna makes you into that situation, then how. And then he was drunk on that night when the Prabhupada Abhishek was going on, 1996. And he said, I had 1 bottle of whiskey, I was fully drunk. But Sridhar Swami, he was so caring. He knew he's having problem. He called him, he said, come on the, he called him on the stage. And when he called him on the stage, now he was drunk. And what would we do if we see somebody like this? Get lost. You're not qualified devotee. But Sridhar Swami called Haridas onto the stage and he gave him a lota. He said, go do the Abhishek to Prabhupada. And Haridas said, he told me this story personally, Haridas. He said to me, I was drunk, but your friend Sridhar Swami, he called me and he said, you come and do the Abhishek to Prabhupada. He said, I told him, I'm drunk. He said, no, don't worry about it. You're drunk or not. You are dear disciple of Prabhupada. Or my dear devotee, whatever. I don't, not this sentence, but whatever he said. His love was, he encouraged him, you come. And he done the Abhishek. He said, after that day, I left alcohol. And he gave credit to whom? To Sridhar Swami. That's how we should take care of devotees. Devotees may have little problems. But Prabhupada, for the sake of Prabhupada, not for, I don't bother about institution of Prabhupada. I'm not really so much fan of this that you have to be, like some type, they don't leave, ISKCON no matter what happens. That institutional statement. The actual statement is never leave the shelter of Prabhupada. He is the one who gave us so much. And I have seen this quality in Sridhar Swami. And he, even when I've seen him, one day I picked him up from the airport and he came up and I said, Maharaj, where is your other suitcase gone? And he used to carry heavy suitcases. And you know that. And with his deities. Now, if in normal case, like yesterday we went, and I felt the same quality in Mukunda. Mukunda, I really loved Mukunda. Really, I'm so happy. He's bringing a lot of memories of Siddha Swami to us. We were going and he lost his wallet somewhere, and Mukunda is busy with so many things. So I said, Mukunda, I'm doing the same thing what Siddha Swami used to do to me. And I tell you what I'm doing to Mukunda, I was told so many times. Siddha Swami used to tell me, I'm your guru. I'm telling Mukunda, Mukunda, I'm your guru. What I'm saying to Mukunda is holding phones, exactly what I used to do. And he told me, he said, Ramanuja, you should have a phone. Those days, he said, phone was very new. Very few people used to carry phones with them, mobile phones, because they were bulky, heavy. And he said, Ramanuja, you should have a phone. I said, okay, Maharaj, when you come next time, I'll have a phone. I have phone with me, and then I would, because I didn't have a habit of carrying. So whenever we would go together, and he would stand right in front of the door, before even me, carrying a phone. I said, so Ramanuja, you got everything? I said, yes, Maharaj, everything. I've got. Yes, okay. But you have forgotten this phone. So then he would give me the phone. And why I'm telling this story, so every time that was our normal routine. I would bring him to the temple in the morning, go for shopping, go anywhere else. And everything is ready? Yes, Maharaj, everything is ready. And then he said, you have forgotten one thing. I said, what is that? And then he put his hand in his own pocket and he said, you've forgotten your phone. And then he would give me his phone. Now on that day I picked him up from the airport. One day I picked him from the airport and he was normal, jolly fellow, like jolly Swami. No, nothing. I was very happy. Met Maharaj, offered business. I picked him up. I said, Maharaj, where is your other suitcase? And then he just laughed. He said, oh, that got stolen. I said, what do you mean stolen? And he said, oh, the suitcase, I was just coming now, and on this slide, he said, the devotee had these 2 suitcases in the car, and while we were coming out of the car, somebody stole one of his suitcases from the car. I don't know where he was coming from. So when that happened, he said, now in this flight, before coming here. I said, oh my God. He said, oh, no worries, happens. Like same thing, Mukunda lost his wallet, and I said, Mukunda, what happened to your wallet? I said, oh my God, ring this. He said, no, don't worry, it has lost, is lost. Then I remember of Siddha Swami. And I asked Siddha Swami those days, I asked him, Maharaj, so what was in the suitcase? He said, well, I had about $10,000 cash. And because those days it was not so much online transactions, sannyasi, some charities, donation. That was his whole savings, put it that way. No bank account, no nothing. So that was his savings. They all gone. But he was not affected with that. That he lost $10,000 and plus his deities were gone as well. He said, I'm worried about my deities, but okay, wherever they wanted to go, they went. So that was their desire. They came to me, his shaligrams. He said, they came to me, I may have done something wrong or whatever. He said, I don't know, I think wrong, but maybe they wanted to go that way, they went that way. That is unaffected. Before passing, which year he passed away, Mukunda Maharaj? 2004 he passed away. He came with Indraduman Maharaj was bringing him from America and going to Mayapur because he wanted to see Mayapur Panchatattva installation. So then he had all the disciples from Europe, even Mukunda was there, all the disciples were there. So Maharaj was going to travel through London. So we had to make arrangement for him. So because he was stopping one night over in London only. So one night, what to do? Because he was not well, and he was under the effect of these drugs. A lot of drugs he was taking. He had to take because of the problem of health. So we thought it will be difficult for him to travel so far to my house. So we rented 2 rooms in Skyline Sheraton, you remember? Near the Heathrow Airport. So now, in the then about 40 devotees were there from Europe. And Mukunda was there, I remember. I think Mukunda, that's the time he gave Gayatri, isn't it? Gayatri mantra? Yeah, I remember that. So then, Maharaj, we arranged this. So now, he rang. Now he could ask his disciples to cook, but it was his mercy, it was his love. So he asked my wife, his Shamasaki, what are you cooking? So then he said, what do you want, Maharaj? So we asked. He said, Canadian, I want some what's called pancake, waffles with Canadian maple syrup. So, okay. So Canadian maple syrup, that was ordered. That's what he taught how the disciple should obey the order of a guru. Because he had this quality to how the guru trains his disciple. And okay, fair enough. So then now 40 devotees are there. We have to cook for them as well. So she cooked. Those days, even now she cooks. But 5-star hotel, Skyline Sheraton, we thought that's comfortable for him. They won't allow any food to go in. But we smuggled. We put the 40 devotees, dal, rice, sabji in the big crate. And while we told, I don't know which devotee was, we told a couple of devotees to keep divert the attention of the receptionist. So they kept talking, receptionist busy, and we carried the whole entire 40 devotees prasad into the 5-star hotel room. And now, when we took the whole, Maharaj stayed for a couple of nights, I don't remember now. Anyway, I'll tell you one incident, what he done. So we took the whole prasad there, and Maharaj was still under the effect of this intoxication of the because of disease. And then we served, he gave Gayatri. While he was doing Gayatri, then he said, Mahamantra is more important than Gayatri. You remember? He said, Mahamantra is more important than the Gayatri. That's number one. And we served, he didn't say anything in the night. So she made, rather than prantha something, you put a roll there, Yeah, amino salt. Well, one more thing he done. She made prantha or some whatever. She put maple syrup. She made rolls of maple syrup. I remember that. So she put she made a roll of the pancake or prantha, whatever pancake, and she spread the maple syrup and she rolled it, and I gave to Maharaj, and Maharaj, early in the morning, I went from home because early in the morning, about 5 o'clock to the room, and Maharaj and Indraduman Swami was there, and Indraduman Swami didn't know me, So he did not want me to, because he was like a protector to Maharaj, So nobody would come near him. I don't know if Mukunda remembers that. But he gave me look, I gave look back to Indraduman Swami. I said, how dare you are, because Siddha Swami is my good friend, And he's my guru, and your last chance, you're coming in between us. So I even this is how our relationship with Indraduman Swami started. But anyway, that's different. I'm not going to go into that side. But Maharaj was in his gamcha and he was just about to shower. He called me. He said, Ramanuja. He said, you done wrong. Now, whole life he loved. And he said, you done wrong. I said, what did I do wrong? He said, you did not follow my instruction. He said, I told you pancake with Canadian maple syrup. I didn't ask him maple syrup. He knew the taste of that. What is Canadian maple syrup and ordinary maple syrup? Yeah. Little louder so he can. Hold on, take that.
So Maharaj had told us the night before, and in those days we didn't used to have 24-hour supermarkets open. It was late, so no supermarket was open. And he said Canadian maple syrup. We thought, where are you going to get Canadian maple syrup for? We was like, oh my God, And then we had to go early in the morning, and even the shops are still not open. So whatever I had at home, so we used that. And like Ramanuja said, he knew the difference. And I was frantically telling devotees, as soon as the shop's open, you need to go and find this Canadian maple syrup from somewhere. And there were, I think, 2 devotees running around shops trying to find this Canadian maple syrup. In the meantime, Maharaj had obviously tasted.
No, I remember exactly what happened.
Which devotee? Do you remember?
I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
So what happened was when he really, little lad is a guru. He chastised me. He never chastised me whole life. He always encouraged me how to preach. He told me how to speak. He told me, he said, Ramanuja, that's how you practice. This is what you have to say. This is how you do it. And then he told me how to cultivate people and how to invest in them. And then he taught, another thing is how a disciple should treat his guru, how he should follow the instruction of the guru. But the guru must be a guru as well. I won't say anybody can become a guru. And he said to me, I told you Canadian maple syrup. He said, I got no taste. Do you think that I'm near death, I'm going to die soon? And do you think that I am asking maple syrup for the taste? He said, I got no taste in my mouth. I said, I wanted you to bring Canadian maple syrup with a pancake. And don't you spread or Shyamasaki spread the maple syrup on the pancake. I didn't order you to spread the maple syrup on pancake. I asked you pancake and a maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup. And should I bring, as a guru order, that's how you should bring. And immediately I said, oh my God. He said, now go and get Canadian maple syrup and a pancake. And Maharaj is going to go by 12 o'clock in the afternoon of whatever time he was going to go his flight. And this is 6 o'clock in the morning, and this is Sunday. And those days there was no supermarkets 24 hours. And I had a phone with me because he told me to have a mobile phone with me. And I was trying to ring where I can get maple syrup. And I could not find maple syrup. I'm ringing the stores up. Anybody, anywhere in London has any maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup. And I told Shyamasaki, I said, you cook some pancake. Maharaj wanted a pancake and I have to arrange a Canadian maple syrup for him. And then somehow there are ringing devotees up. Then one devotee, what's his name? Amy's mother? His brother? What's his name? Sandipani. So somehow I don't know how Krishna's arrangement, I rang him up and he said, Uncle, I have got Canadian maple syrup. I just bought one bottle from wherever he got it. He said, I've got Canadian maple syrup. So then he brought the Canadian maple syrup bottle And then Shamasaki made pancake. And then about 11, 10 o'clock, I went into his room and I offered him, I said, Maharaj, that's a bottle of Canadian maple syrup. And that's the last thing he asked me. And I was very happy that but he was not looking for taste. And he was very happy as well. So I remember when he went through the airport and we all shouted, Maharaj. And but the main thing of Maharaj, I request all of you devotees that whoever you are, wherever you are, learn from his life that take care of devotees. If they are upset with us, that means we must have something wrong in us. I gave example on that day. Shriman Hanuman Podarji Bhaiji, he's the author of Gita Press. Our Prabhupada wanted a BBT like that Gita Press is running. He went to meet Hanuman Prasad Podarji Bhaiji in Gorakhpur. And this instruction has really hit my heart. There was one Mayavadi Guru, Kripatriji Maharaj. He criticized Hanuman Prasad Podarji Maharaj, Bhaiji. His name is Bhaiji. So somebody said, Bhaiji, this Kripatriji Maharaj is criticizing you. So what he said, वो तो बहुत सज्जन पुरुष. He is very noble person, very gentle. If he is criticizing me, that means I have something wrong in me. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing that what is wrong in me. So we should always try to see what is wrong with us rather than others. And if there is something, then we should pray to Krishna. We should not hurt others. And so this I learned from Sridhar Swami, that how to look after devotees. That's one thing. And secondly, how to invest. He was one of the big fundraisers. He's the one who taught how to raise funds in Bombay. And in his footsteps, in a manner, we are very successful because we invest in people, spend for people, and then they'll give you everything. They give themselves to you. So this art of, I'm so happy Mukunda has got this wonderful same application in his life, that give gifts to people. Give and give and give. Give yourself to others. Not even to devotees, but outside. When you give your love, you give come. I mean, Shruti Dharma Prabhu, Pranabandhu Prabhu from our Bhaktivinoda Manor, Neela Mother Prabhu, and how they are successful, why Bhaktivinoda Manor is successful. They are investing in people. So give gifts. This is one art. This art is to me, it was taught by Sridhar Swami. So take this art, take his instruction if you really love him. And he loved Ljubljana. So now Ljubljana job is that you go and invest, go and preach, invest in our own devotees. Invest, this is the word is investment. So invest, make some, I suggested, make some photos, make some nice gifts. And then send Leela Shuka, these are all gifts. Okay, take these gifts. Go to people, give it to them, cultivate them, give them cookies, give them this, give them this, give them this. You watch, the whole temple will be filled. Invest in people. Invest to buy their love. So we can only expect love if we give love. If we make a sound in a well, Whatever the sound we make in a well, the well gives you sound back. And when we give ourselves to people, when we give our love to people, people will give us love. And that love will enhance our Krishna consciousness. And that will make Swami Prabhupada proud. Temple's not going to make proud. What is the point of making big, big temples if there is no love among devotees? What is the meaning of having elaborate worships if there is no love among devotees? Money is not love. But we are concentrating on money. But the money is Krishna's money. This Lakshmi is Krishna's Lakshmi. Anybody comes to temple, give them gifts. They may not even give you back. Don't expect that if I give these gifts to people, so in return they will give me money. Don't do that. It's Krishna's money, it's Krishna's Lakshmi. Give it to them. Even if they don't give, they will remember, I went to Hare Krišna temple and I forgot the name of president. What's the name of our president here? Ananda? Yeah, Ananta Prabhu. I went, Ananta Prabhu gave me this photo. I didn't give him back anything. I remember. Mukunda gave me this. They will remember whole life. And that little remembrance is Krishna consciousness. I will read from Chaitanya last winding up that Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kulinagram Brahman, Satyaraj Khan, when they used to go to Kulinagram, these Kulinagram Brahmins, they would go to meet Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri every year. And they used to make silken ropes for Jagannath Ji. If you go to Jagannath Puri, you will see how big ropes they are. That thick. And 3 carts, huge ropes. So you can imagine to bring these ropes from Kulinagram every year, silken ropes, not even ordinary ropes. They used to make for Jagannath. So they asked one question. This says, Tabe Ramananda or Satyaraj Khan, Prabhu Charan Kichu Khale Nivedan. Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan asked, he says, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at your lotus feet, we want to have one request. What do you want to ask? Your question, what is that? He said, Grasta Vishayami ki more sadhana. I'm a grasta. Grasta mean householders. Vishay mean I'm a materialistic. I'm life in the, I need money, I need family, I need this. I'm Vishay. I'm engrossed in the materialistic life. I'm a householder. What should I do? And Shri Chaitanya, Shri Mukhe Agya Kare Prabhu Nivedan, that, our Lord, at your lotus feet we are asking you a question, what should we do? We are householders, we are engrossed in the materialistic life. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu kahe Krishna Seva, Vaishnava Sevan. Go. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do Krishna Seva and Vaishnava Seva. Remember these 3 things from the His Holiness Sridhar Swami. And that is that this Jivadoya, Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva. 3 things. We should be merciful not to every living entity, every living being. We should think of them. Namruchi must have eagerness to chant Krishna's names. Not I have finished 16 rounds and put it on one side. No. Eagerness in chanting. We have to attain ruchi in the chanting. And then Vaishnava Seva. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Prabhu kahe Krishna Seva, Vaishnava Seva. Go serve Krishna, go serve devotees. And when they asked, he said, Satyaraj bole, Vaishnav Chine came in. Who is Vaishnav? How do I recognize Vaishnav? And what do we do? In our temple, anybody walks in our temple, and we think, oh, this person, he may not be wearing you're a devotee. Have you taken initiation? Have you ever noticed people, after a little while, people trying to put initiation into your throat? That if you're not initiated, you're not a devotee. That's wrong. That is not nice, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never says. When he asked, who is a Vaishnav? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahi yaha mukhe shuni ek bar. Whoever is chanting Krishna's names even once, oh my Krishna, anybody walks into this room and come in front of Panch Tattva, Radha Krishna, Krishna Balaram, come in front of them and just ask, oh my Lord, I'm suffering, like he said, one of the singer here. What was the name of the singer? You was telling me? One lady, she's one of famous singer here, and she came and connected with Mukunda Prabhu, and Mukunda Prabhu gave him. He is giving gifts from his pocket. Okay, invest. That's investing. He's investing in what? For himself? No. He's somehow that they connect to Krishna. So she may have entered into the room. She was very distressed. He told me this story. I won't name the singer. Okay, she's one of the famous singer in Slovenia. So she's a celebrity. So she was distressed in her life. And what did Mukunda done? Mukunda spoke to her. Oh, you have come? All right. So he gave, like have a jolly Mukunda. So jolly Mukunda gave him some gift, whatever. And what happened? She's chanting Hare Krishna. She's not wearing Kanthimala. She's not wearing Tilak. She's not. But she has connected with Krishna. That is devotee. And you may say, no, how can that be devotee? That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered very nicely. Prabhu kahi yaha mukhe shuni ek bar. Anybody who's chanting Krishna's name even once, oh my Krishna, I don't know about you. I don't know of any rules, regulations. But I am lost soul in this world. I have come into your fleet. Please protect me. That means immediately that person should be considered as a devotee. He may not be following principles, but that person is a devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed. He Krishnam se puja shreshta sabakar. He is a shreshta. He is a superior to all of them. Because he has come to Krishna. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, Ek Krishna naam kare sarva pap kshay. Anybody who surrendered to Krishna, even he chant once. Sometimes we say, oh, you have to chant pure. Prabhupada even said that. But anybody, any one name of Krishna, any name of Krishna, Ram, Nrsimha, Vara, any Krishna's name, Murari, Govind. Oh, Govind, I'm yours, I'm suffering. Bas, that's a devotee. That should be considered as a devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Navida Bhakti Purna Naam Haite Hai. All the Navida Bhakti is considered into that one Naam of Krishna. Sometimes we say, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're not cleaning this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this. That's no bhakti. No bhakti. Naam itself is a bhakti. Naam contains all the 9 qualities of bhakti in one Naam. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that in this way, Diksha Pushchare Vidhi Upekshana Kare. Forget about this. Diksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, one does not have to undergo initiation or execute the activities required before initiation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is putting institution before this. Naam is more important than the institution. Naam is everything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Diksha Pushchare Vidhi Pekshana Kare. Forget about Diksha. Naam does not depend on Diksha. The person is a Diksha or person is initiated or person is not initiated. Anybody who's surrendering to Krishna, he is considered to be a devotee. And then, but we are so fool. We still don't believe in Krishna's instruction. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I can give some, I spoke on these, I love this prasanga of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew that, they are not going to, I have told them, Diksha Pushchare Vidhi Pekshana Kare, but then we try to mold, we try to somehow want to understand this meaning our way. Oh, no, still you need Diksha. Prabhupada mentioned all these things, but he was just, but he says one thing, he says, Anushanga Phalakare Sansarikshay. Anybody who chants Krishna's names, he's initiated or he's not initiated. He should be considered devotee. And with that, he says, he will free from this sansar, from this materialistic world. Chitta karsha kare Krishna prem uday. Krishna prem will be invoked into the person, heart. And then we still may not believe in Krishna. But then Krishna again says, na diksha, na satkriyam, na pushar, manag ikshate. Manag means not even slightly. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again repeating, na diksha. Naam does not depend on diksha. Naam does not depend on pushchari vidhi. Naam does not depend on pious activities. Naam is more important. So my request on this, that's a different seminar. We can speak on that, Naam, which is so important. But His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj has his message looking after devotees, looking after the people who are supporting the institution, who are supporting this Krishna consciousness, looking after all the people financially or physically, the devotees living in the temple, they are giving their physically, they are serving Shri Krishna. People living outside, they may be not physically, they may not be even chanting, they may be even, they're very business people, rich people, and they are giving you their hard-earning money to us, which we are using for Krishna conscious service, so that they should be considered as a devotee. So how we should look after them, how we should invest in them, and how we should establish loving relationship among the devotees of Sri Krishna. And that pleased Prabhupada. That's why he pleased Srila Swami Prabhupada. So His Holiness Sridhar Swami, Prabhupada must be very pleased with him, because he taught us this art, how to go and cultivate people, how to go cultivate devotees. So this is my message. I stop here. And there are so many other pastimes we could talk, but today we have spoken 1.5 hours about His Holiness Sridhar Swami. So my humble request to all of you, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not a preacher. I'm just sharing. I'm trying to serve all of you. So whatever I learned from our Guru Swami Prabhupada, whatever I've learned from His Holiness Sridhar Swami, what I'm learning from all of you devotees. So I'm so happy that I was invited here to serve all of you. So my only one request is, please take the message of His Holiness Sridhar Swami. Please invest in the devotee's heart. Please invest into the community over here. And it's a very, very happy. I don't know other devotees so much. I don't know President even so much. I haven't met him, so I can't say. But I know Mukunda Prabhu very well for all these years, and I'm what right word say, one should not be proud, but proud for devotees is right word. So proud that Sridhar Swami has created a devotee, his disciple, Mukunda Prabhu here. Not because he's my friend, because he has learned the art of investing in people. He has learned the art of, so this is the art Sridhar Swami taught me. And I give credit to Sridhar Swami that how we cultivate people. And so we should cultivate all class of people. That doesn't mean if somebody is very rich, they are good for us because we empty their pockets. No, they are good for us. They can assist our temple with wealth, and we should cultivate even ordinary people who haven't got money, we should even give same love and respect to them. We should cultivate them even with the same intention, because these people may not have money, but they will serve our movement of Krishna consciousness. So they may come and clean the temple, they may come cook for us. We should give them respect, we should share gifts. That doesn't mean we give gifts only to rich people.